Live from the station that's on your side, this is 6 News at 6.
A Loudoun County man accused of sexual battery after an encounter with an 80-year-old woman. It turns out the suspect is a firefighter. We're digging into the case.
There are boxes and boxes and boxes, and it goes all the way back, and there are thousands in here.
New court clerk Mike Hammond takes us inside the trouble office he's taking over, and he says it's clear why mistakes were made. Tonight, he's talking about the changes. And a special honor for some Knox County students. Their science project is chosen for the International Space Station. Good evening, everybody. I'm Gene Patterson. I'm Lori Tucker. Thanks for joining us. A Loudoun firefighter has been accused of sexual battery against an 80-year-old woman. Authorities say it happened Friday at the woman's home in Loudoun, and that 54-year-old firefighter Ricky Sutton was not on duty at the time. 6 News reporter Jill McNeil was in Loudoun today investigating. She joins us in the studio with tonight's top story. And Jill, what did you find out?
Well, Lori and Jean, according to investigators, Ricky Sutton knew the woman from responding to past emergency calls at her home. When he stopped by on Friday, she apparently recognized him and let him in.
Ricky Sutton's arrest warrant reads in part, quote, Sutton grabbed both of her hands and pulled them away from her body and made comments about how attractive she was. He then asked her to kiss him, pulled her body up against his in a passionate manner. The woman says she tried to push away and told him to stop, but he kissed her twice.
I was totally shocked because it was out of character for Ricky. You know, I've known him for at least 7-8 years. I was the one that promoted him from a part-time fireman to a full-time fireman in '07, and he's done a good job for the city.
Sutton joined the Loudoun Fire Department part-time in 1998.
He's been a very likable person. I don't know a person that doesn't like Ricky. Everybody gets along with him, and he's well-liked in the community.
Fire Chief Mike Brubaker says he was told of the charges Friday and immediately suspended Sutton. He says Sutton submitted this one-sentence resignation letter Saturday.
We're a family away from our family down here because we work long shifts and long hours together, so it's more difficult knowing that it's one of your own that is facing these charges.
Sutton was arrested Friday night but bonded out of jail a short time later.
We don't want this to reflect, you know, poorly toward any other firefighter in this community or any other community. You know, hopefully this is an isolated situation. My hopes is that it's proven to be false, but you know, then also if it did occur, then the law needs to follow the due process.
Both the city manager and the fire chief say Sutton had no history of problems.
We're full of very professional members that are highly dedicated and trained, and we're still going to be answering a call every time the tone goes off.
We called Ricky Sutton today, hoping to get his side of the story. He did not want to speak with us. Investigators say that during his police interview, he did apologize and said he made a mistake. On your side, live in the studio, Jill McNeil, 6 News.
All right, thank you, Jill. Now, Ricky Sutton was also a volunteer with Loudoun County Fire and Rescue. They have suspended him pending the outcome of this investigation. Well, a court victory for people trying to enroll in TennCare. A federal judge says the state must give applicants hearings if they've been waiting for an answer in their case. Several advocacy groups had teamed up to help would-be TennCare patients sue the state. The plaintiffs saying their rights have been violated since they've been waiting months to know whether they even qualified. A judge Tuesday granted class action status and ruled they must be given hearings if they waited longer than 45 days on disability claims or 90 days on other applications. Former Knox County Commissioner Mike Hammond has officially taken over as criminal court clerk and is wasting no time, apparently, reorganizing the office. Well, problems with paperwork and record keeping led to a number of wrongful arrests under the leadership of former clerk Joy McCroskey. New at 6 News reporter Drew Gardner got an inside look at some of the problems plaguing the office and Hammond's plans for improvement.
The Knox County Criminal Court Clerk's office has been no stranger to controversy in recent months. Mike Hammond took over the office earlier this week, and after a look behind the scenes, he says it's clear why so many mistakes are being made.
These are the record of people who have been in court, and so as you can see, there are boxes and boxes and boxes, and it goes all the way back, and there are thousands in here.
Hammond says many documents haven't been properly filed, and oftentimes tracking down information can be very difficult.
Employees are telling me that it took up to 2 weeks to find a document. Well, that's unacceptable.
It's also led to several wrongful arrests, something Hammond says his office is addressing right away by going through 160 pages of active and unserved probation violations.
Our folks are going to go through these by hand and personally research each case and ensure we don't have a situation where we have someone who's paid their cost and erroneously had a probation violation warrant issued against them.
Chief Deputy Clerk Richard Major says they're also updating the way records are kept. Here's an example that shows how records of judgments are currently marked on ongoing cases. These can be very confusing for those entering the data hours or even days later. Major says going forward, any notes made on a case will be entered in real time.
What that means is, as the events occur, while all of the relevant parties are still present, the information is being put into the computer database at that point.
A new website will also allow people to keep up with their own cases by searching the docket online.
Anyone who wants information as to when they're supposed to be in court, they're going to be able to get this information by inputting either their name or the date range or whatever.
Now, Hammond says he hopes to have the clerk's office running efficiently in the next 6 months. On your side in downtown Knoxville, Drew Gardner, 6 News.
The updated website went live yesterday. For a link, all you have to do is head over to WATE.com.
Well, an audit finds utility district money spent on food, even Christmas gifts.
In all, nearly $45,000 in questionable purchases. Now, the state controller's office is looking into the Webb Creek Utility District in Gatlinburg.
Investigators found that the former assistant district manager bought almost $20,000 in gifts for employees and a board member. We're talking about things like iPads, laptops, and gift cards. Thousands more was spent on food for personal use, plus $2,600 in meals at restaurants.
A former manager and assistant manager were fired last year. Webb Creek's new manager says policy changes have been made in response. You can read the entire audit at WATE.com.
The crash involving an ambulance that killed a young Hawkins County woman was at least partially caused by negligence, but it was not criminal. That's the finding of the grand jury chosen to hear this case. That crash had happened last July on Highway 11W in Churchill. Police say an ambulance hit 18-year-old Samantha Hathaway's car before hitting 2 other cars. Hathaway died in the crash. 9 other people were hurt. THP says the ambulance was working an emergency call at the time. The driver of that ambulance will not face charges.
We are following up now on Knox County School Board's meeting happening right now in downtown Knoxville.
At 5 o'clock tonight, we told you about several issues the board is working on right now. The board in the last hour approving a settlement with the town of Farragut over money owed from a mixed drink tax.
And board members approved a change to the policy on community use of school buildings. The change coming in response to a lawsuit over a canceled event, a seminar on Sharia law slated for Farragut High School. Now, a local Islamic group and others complained, and then that event was moved to a church. Under the revised policy, the school system cannot cancel an event because of the organizer's viewpoint.
4 Tennessee National Guardsmen were honored today for their heroic deeds off the battlefield, and one of them from right here in East Tennessee. 6 News was in Nashville today when Sergeant First Class Fred Mize III was given the Soldier's Medal along with 3 other soldiers. The medal is given to those who risked their lives to save others while not in combat situations. Mize was being recognized for his actions from February 2013 when he helped pull 3 people out of a fiery crash in front of Jefferson County High School.
It was a very deep honor, but I don't believe that I did anything that any other soldier, male or female, would be willing to do. That's why we wear the uniform.
Over the past decade, 7 other Tennessee National Guard soldiers have received this award. The other 3 soldiers awarded today were all recognized for their efforts to stop an active shooter at the Millington Armory in October last year.
Well, Morristown is getting more than $250,000 to extend its city greenway system. The grant money coming from TDOT. State Transportation Director John Schroer was in Morristown today to make that presentation. Now, the money will help to extend the greenway by ½ a mile to Freddie Kyle Park.
It just gives a better quality of life, truthfully, because we have a lot of people that are runners here in the city or bicycle riders, and anything you can do to enhance the city environment, and that includes these trails, all right, it helps our citizens to enjoy the city more.
It's always a pleasure to come. Oftentimes when we build roads and sometimes there's some controversy and stuff, on a project like this, it's all smiles.
Well, today's grant covers all but 20% of the cost of that extension, with the rest coming from the city. Now, Mayor Thomas says Morristown probably could not have afforded the project without the help and would have had to wait another 5 or 6 years.
Coming up in sports, Peyton Manning will be without one of his favorite targets for the first 4 games of the season. We'll hear from the former Vol as he gets set for the start of the NFL season.
Plus, the Tennessee defense will have its hands full yet again on Saturday. Hear how their performance last week gave them a boost of confidence as they get ready for Game 2.
Knoxville back here to the east and some showers to the west, but they're having a hard time holding together. Still a chance for some showers and scattered storms over the next 7 days. I'll have it all in the full forecast.
And we've been following a new shopping center going up in West Knoxville with some big name retailers coming to town. Straight ahead, an update on when one of those will open.
And some STEM Academy students are about to send their science project literally into space. We're going to meet them next on 6 News at 6.
6 News is on your side. If you have a story, we want to know about it. Send an email to newsroom@wate.com or send a message to our 6 News Facebook or Twitter accounts. You're watching WATE 6 News at 6.
You're watching WATE 6 News at 6.
Welcome back. A science experiment created by Knox County students is headed to space.
Now, students from L&N STEM Academy were selected out of more than 100 in the area. And take a look at this.
Yeah, what you're looking at is video of those students being honored by the Knox County School Board at its meeting just moments ago.
Covering education, 6 News reporter Alexis Zotos caught up with the high schoolers this afternoon to talk about the project.
The countdown to launch is on. In 47 days, an experiment created by these L&N STEM Academy students will head to the International Space Station.
Our experiment is to test the decomposition of an organic substance in a solution of Ridex, because the reason that we thought this was important for our ISS experiment is because eventually in the future it's going to get to the point where just ejecting the waste is going to be not as advisable, because we will have a lot more people there in the future.
The students started thinking of ideas in February, and their experiment will be performed by NASA astronauts on the Mission 6, a reality that's only just settling in for these high school students.
That's just insane to think, because space is so vast, and the chances of something to go up is so small. I mean, even just for this experiment, but at all.
The experiment will launch on October 21st with several others from across the country, but theirs is the only one from Tennessee. On your side in Knoxville, Alexis Zotos, 6 News.
Now, the project was funded through a grant from UT. The school's already gearing up to next year's competition, which begins later this month.
All right, good luck to them. Well, the opening date is set for an outdoor retailer coming to Knoxville.
Now, we've been keeping track of this for some time now. October 24th is the opening date for the REI store in West Knoxville.
REI saying today it will hold the grand opening events through November 2nd with giveaways and lots of other things going on. The store is part of the Paper Mill Plaza development at the intersection of Paper Mill and Kingston Pike. That's the same location as the Whole Foods Market. We checked today. No word yet on the exact opening date for Whole Foods. That high-end grocer is still saying it will happen, though, probably by next spring.
All right, tonight we want to let you know about some upcoming programming changes here on WATE.
Pretty excited about this. Coming up Monday, September 8th at 3 p.m., we will air 2 back-to-back episodes of Judge Judy. Then at 4, we begin an expanded version of the 4 o'clock news. Myself and 6 News anchor Bo Williams, along with Chief Meteorologist Matt Hinken, will be bringing you an entire hour of news and weather. Be sure to watch 6 News at 4 for what's new now and next.
I know what's new now right now, and that's weather. I think it's sort of, well, I actually don't know what it is.
It's been kind of rainy out there for some people, not everybody.
And this tonight, it's Southern Valley. Yesterday and last night, it was showers and thunderstorms in a good part of the area. Most of the activity right now is confined south and west of Knoxville. You can see that on Storm Tracker 6. Trying to make an advance up the valley, having a hard time, but some showers, nothing severe. Definitely not like we saw last night, but notice coming up from Chattanooga, they've had some lightning, but these storms are falling apart. And then you move right up toward Crossville here, this is falling apart as well. So the whole area is weakening as it comes up toward Knoxville, which is up here. By the way, this light color, that's just moisture around the radar, humidity in the atmosphere. We still have the possibility of a few scattered showers or thunder showers tonight, but I don't think we'll see much. We'll take that temperature down in the upper 60s tonight. By tomorrow morning, we're into the low 80s by noontime, and we could see the mid to upper 80s. There is a chance for a few spotty showers or thunder showers as we go through the day tomorrow, but it won't be widespread. Kind of socked in on Mount LeConte this afternoon. Day's getting shorter, so the pictures look darker and darker. Even though we do have clouds here, there's still a bunch of time to go to see the beautiful mountains of East Tennessee, including Mount LeConte. I'm going to show you another version of that hopefully here in just a second. We've got mostly cloudy skies over toward the mountains. A 6 timeline shows us that as we go to late tonight, early tomorrow morning, and then we start the day dry tomorrow. This is 6:15. Now we could see another chance for some spotty showers or thunder showers develop right along the mountains here. This is during early morning hours toward the noon hour. Later in the afternoon, then we get close to 2 o'clock, we start to see some spotty showers and thunder showers develop, and then some of those could come into the valley. So we're going to go with about 30 to 40% coverage on showers and storms tomorrow. Temperatures again in the mid to upper 80s. Today we were only in the low 80s thanks to the clouds that have been around. As this advances, then we decrease the rain chances tomorrow night. This is 9:30, and then on Friday we'll do the same story. Start it dry, end up with a few scattered showers and storms, and might even see some areas that see some heavier downpours. Currently it's only 83 degrees. It's 82 in Sevierville, 86 in Morristown, 84 in Middlesboro, and 74 in Wartburg with 78 in Crossville. Here's a forecast that, this is the picture I was telling you about Mount LeConte. Look at this from Teresa Gregory Myers. This is the view of Mount LeConte today from where she took this. Isn't that beautiful? Not only is it lush and green here, but there's Mount LeConte, and look at the various types of clouds you can see in the sky against a blue background. Beautiful picture. Share your pictures anytime on Facebook with us, and we'll be glad to show them to our viewers as well. Again, 6 timeline keeps basically dry conditions through early tomorrow morning, and then we improve things as we go over the next few days, next 24 hours anyway, and then we start to worry about chances for showers and thunder showers as we go into game day on Saturday. As a matter of fact, the forecast as we get toward the next 7 days does include 88 tomorrow, about 40% coverage, 30% coverage on Friday, and then Saturday, they're going to bump that up to about 60% chances for showers and thunderstorms. It's a noon game, which could have 2 or 3 hours difference, make all the difference in the world when it comes to a ball game where there's 102,000 people there. So we'll keep an eye on that and keep that fine-tuned. Sunday and Monday, spotty storms, and we're looking at the mid-80s, overnight lows in the mid-60s. There could also be a little bit less humidity in the forecast by the middle of next week. We will definitely keep you updated on that as well.
Well, the Wild defense up to the challenge last week, and that has it riding high as Arkansas State comes to town.
Yeah, Michael Spencer is with us. And Michael, it's going to be another tough test for Tennessee this weekend.
That's right, guys. It will be. You know, the big question for the defense in the Utah State game was how do you slow down Chucky Keaton? The Vols defense didn't have a problem with that, but we'll face another dual-threat quarterback this weekend in Arkansas State's Freddie Knighton. Knighton led the Red Wolves in passing and rushing in their season-opening win over Montana State. He ran for 104 yards. Now think about this, the entire Tennessee team rushed for just 110 yards last week. So the defense definitely going to have its work cut out, but the D played well last week, and the players say they're confident they can do that again.
We already established that we're playing with a chip on the shoulder. We're trying to win. We're going in there as the underdog, and we're trying to make plays. We're trying to be a dominant defense, orange swarm defense, and we're coming in there with energy, high energy, and we're going to play every down, one play at a time.
Kickoff between Arkansas State and Tennessee set for noon on Saturday at Neyland Stadium. We'll have more on the Vols defense coming up tonight at 11. The NFL season kicks off tomorrow, and former Vol Peyton Manning and the Denver Broncos will begin the season on Sunday against Indianapolis. Peyton will be without one of his favorite targets, though. I hope you didn't draft Wes Welker in your fantasy league. As we first told you last night, Welker will miss the first 4 games of the season due to a positive test for amphetamines. He caught a career-high 10 TDs last year. He immediately went into denial mode, saying that the positive test was, quote, a joke, and that the NFL's drug policy was clearly flawed. Today, Manning talked about starting the season without one of his favorite targets.
I think it falls on a lot of people. I think it's easy to say one person has to, step in and fill that gap. And in this case, a lot of people have to step up, raise their level of play. when you don't have one of your best players, a guy that's one of your top contributors. I think it falls on more than just one person.
The Titans will also be in action this weekend. Tennessee will start its season Sunday when it travels to Kansas City. It'll be the beginning of the Ken Wisenhunt era, and the head coach admitted today he's ready to just get going.
That's why you do this. You know, it's this stuff that we're doing right now, this practice, that's not the fun part. The fun part's on the field on Sunday and seeing what you've worked so hard on, realize some of those results.
Should be a good weekend of football for sure. Well, it didn't take long for Chris Bryant to be called up to AAA this year. The Smokies third baseman was smoking hot all year long, and today he was named the USA Today's Minor League Player of the Year. The 22-year-old hit .325 this season and led the minors with 43 home runs. More than half of those were with the Smokies. Bryant was selected by the Cubs with the #2 overall pick back in 2013, and before the season, he was tabbed as the second best prospect in the organization and the 8th best prospect in the minor leagues. Look forward to seeing what he's going to do in the near future. That's going to do it for sports. We're back right after this.
New tonight on the CW20 News at 10, police spot an illegal left turn. That begins a chase in Ohio that involved 3 police departments. And get this, the driver of the car, only 14 years old.
Then tonight at 11 on 6 News, a group of students saying they understand, they're standing up, I should say, against Amendment 1, a proposed abortion ban. Why they say Tennesseans should be better informed before the November ballot at 11.
A few scattered showers across the southern valley along the plateau as well. That's moving off to the east-northeast and probably fall apart. Slight chance for a shower the rest of the night. Then they have the best opportunity now coming on Saturday.
Oh, all right. That's it for now. Thanks so much for being with us.
We'll see you at 11.